Now I think this is the series everyone enjoys the most, so I'm sure you guys are happy this video is finally out, huh? Well, I hope you like this one, eh? So today we have What If Goku Married Suno, Part 7. And honestly, with the additions we've made to the main cast, this is the arc that I think will probably be the most interesting, considering Ada's relationship to the Red Ribbon Army. But before we get into this part proper, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so. I have a graph that shows that the majority of y'all ain't subs, so if you could do so, that'd help me out a lot. Cheers. Anyway, let's get into it. Now if you remember in the last part, we left off with Frieza's defeat at Goku's hands, and having the arc end in a pretty similar way to the canon. All with Goku using a Ginyu Force space pod to get off the exploding planet Namek, and here we still have Goku crash landing on Yardrat, doing some recovering / training there for quite some time. So while he's on Yardrat, let's handle how everyone else is doing up to the point the next major thing is about to start. That being the Trunks and Mecha Frieza arrival. King Cold's there obviously too. So after the events of the last part, the Namekians made a temporary home on the Earth, meaning that until New Namek and everyone was revived, Piccolo was able to train / chill with Nail, with the two becoming good friends very quickly, enough so that Nail extends a personal invite to the New Namek when it's made. But Piccolo still refuses, seeing the Earth as his home. Nail, understanding this, just tells him to let him know if anything bad happens. Piccolo basically replies, likewise. And then the Namek Dragon Balls are made active under their new Elder Mori, and using his Dragon Balls, he revives the fallen Earthlings, Tien, Suno, Chiaotzu, and Yamcha, so they are all back, and Gohan is over the moon that everyone he cared about are all alive again. But that's not all. Tien and Suno in particular are looking a bit beefier than everyone remembered. That's cause these two have been training intensely on King Kai's planet this entire time. Currently the two people who probably got the most out of King Kai's training, in comparison to their strength before and after said training. Then we get to that actual time skip where time passes as everyone settles into their daily lives. I mean, as much as you can after defeating the Space Emperor. Piccolo's still hanging around at Goku's house with Gohan and Suno, and here could be born a different type of Piccolo's the better dad meme, as Piccolo and Suno are quite close friends at this point. The only reason I make that meme point is to illustrate that Piccolo would have no qualms about hanging out there and training with them, especially since Piccolo has already spent that bonding time with both Gohan and Suno, so it only really makes sense he's here now. And after some time, Piccolo is able to surpass the two in base power. But let's get into some of the other characters. The next one I want to cover would be Ada, and he's mostly chilling at Capsule Corp these days, helping Bulma and Dr. Briefs with their various experiments. Though Ada does push for more upgrades for his own power, since he was very aware how out of his depths he was in the battle against Frieza. Bulma, kinda understanding where he's coming from, continues tinkering and upgrading Ada's specs. So by the time Frieza Mecha shows up, I'd say Bulma would be able to make him at least as strong as second form Frieza. And at this level, Ada seems pretty content that he'll still be of use to Goku and the others. And since we're already at Capsule Corp, let's tackle another person who's hanging out there, Vegeta. And he's basically very similar to his canon self here, if not just like a tiny bit nicer. But he still goes off into space for training from time to time, though he's on Earth when the Mecha Frieza arc starts, so he won't be missing in action, don't worry. Though while Vegeta is here, he winds up being introduced to Tights, Bulma's older sister. I think most of y'all can see where that's gonna go. And next I will cover someone who at least visits Capsule Corp often, and that's Yamcha, since he's still dating Bulma. And this Yamcha during this time skip is slacking off a bit more than usual. Like he's died twice at this point and he's second guessing being on the front line at this point. So while he's slacking off a bit in his training, he's decided to spend his time enjoying his life a bit more and hangs out with Bulma a lot more, like a lot more. Where he also has many interactions with both Ada and Vegeta. Ada, who is very friendly, and Vegeta, who still completely dismisses Yamcha's presence. But elsewhere at Kame House we have Roshi and Krillin here. Roshi just does Roshi things, as Krillin at least still keeps up his training at a moderate pace. He'd been made aware that Yamcha started slacking, and thought this was his best chance to surpass his fellow Turtle School student. Chi-Chi would eventually make Krillin come home, and he would continue his training with her and Amon. And then we have Tien, and Tien unsurprisingly is still seriously training. And his exact whereabouts is not really known to the rest of the Z Warriors, because that's just kind of the way Tien is. But don't worry, I'm not saying he'll be missing in action either, like Vegeta. He's gonna be there when Frieza shows up. It's just that Tien likes to train in his own way. And of course, Chiaotzu is there to help Tien in his training, because they're inseparable. Also, something I should mention at this point, I'm no longer doing power levels for this series. though I will still at least rank the warriors in terms of who's the strongest, like objectively out of the good guys. With that out of the way, I kinda wanna rank where are all their powers just before Frieza arrives. So yeah, a lot changed in this time skip, the biggest being that Yamcha's not even close to being top dog anymore, which makes more sense given this isn't the What If Yamcha Trained Like Goku series. Here, after the events of the last part, Yamcha wanted to enjoy his life over getting stronger. Though he still trains, just not as much as he used to, which gave everyone else the opportunity to surpass him. And I think in 1.5 years, that most of the Z Warriors would be able to surpass Yamcha. No doubt, helped by the fact we have Tien, who alongside Suno and Piccolo gained the Kaioken technique while they did their training with King Kai. So let's get into this in an easier way to follow. Goku is noticeably stronger than Vegeta. Vegeta is only slightly stronger than Piccolo. Piccolo is quite a bit stronger than Tien. Tien is only slightly stronger than Suno. Suno is a bit stronger than Ada. Ada is a bit stronger than Gohan. Gohan is on par, if not a tiny bit stronger than Yamcha, but while enraged, can become slightly stronger than Suno, but still weaker than Tien in that circumstance. Yamcha is only stronger than Krillin because of the Kaioken. If we're talking base power levels, Krillin trumps Yamcha, but with Kaioken, he makes him a bit stronger than Krillin. Krillin is on par with Chi-Chi, and Chi-Chi is slightly stronger than Amon. But with that done, let's move on. So now that I've gone over the time skip and what our heroes are doing during that time, we can now go on to the start of the next arc. And that starts with the event similar to canon, where after some morning training with Suno and Piccolo, Gohan answers the phone from a frantic Krillin, letting Gohan know that he can sense Frieza approaching the Earth. Gohan tells Piccolo and Suno, and Piccolo is quick to sense Frieza's power. He tells Gohan to get everybody ready as he flies off. After sharing a worried glance, Suno and Gohan also head off together towards Kame House, where they pick up Chi-Chi, Krillin, and Amon, who were just there for like a family outing, by the way. Just think of it like they were having like a whole slice of life moment, and then Frieza came. Krillin informs Gohan that he had already called Tien, Yamcha, and Ada, so everybody at this point should know if they hadn't already felt Frieza's energy on their own. Something for like Ada would be like impossible not to notice because the power scanner. All the Z Warriors gather in the spot closest to where Frieza was heading, and lie in wait, not fully sure what to do. Vegeta curses that Goku didn't finish them off like he does in canon, whilst everyone else kinda just remains silent. Frieza then touches down on the Earth, but before the Z-Warriors could confront Frieza themselves, they are surprised to see a mysterious blonde-haired boy with a sword already confronting Frieza. This being this timeline's version of Trunks, though since Trunks is a name Bulma came up with, there's a good chance Tights wouldn't name her son Trunks. So I don't know what his name would be. You guys can come up with something and I'll see what happens from there. But right now in this part I'm gonna just keep calling him Trunks just to make it make sense for now. So yeah, moving on. All the warriors are shocked by this young man's actions, thinking he's just a normal human, though they watch as his hair spikes up and is enveloped with a golden aura, making Gohan shout out how this young man is exactly like Goku when he beat Frieza, having Vegeta deny this reality for the normal canon reasons. But regardless, the heroes continue to watch. Frieza and Trunks have a short interaction just like canon. Trunks then attacks Frieza and the two have a short match, it ending with Trunks completely evaporating the Space Tyrant, leaving King Cold in a state of shock. Though that only lasts for a short moment, as Trunks also ends King Cold's life with very little effort. Trunks then turns around and greets the heroes. Though here, something very different happens. As the heroes approach Trunks, Trunks locked eyes with Ada, and just shouts "Android" and rushes at him. Ada is barely able to respond before Trunks is upon him and slamming into him, and launching him through a mountain. Gohan and Amon are the first to fly over to Ada, as everyone else are now incredibly cautious of Trunks. Piccolo is the first to defend Ada's honor and jumps into his max Kaioken, which right now is times 20, and attacks Trunks, though Trunks is able to dodge all of his attacks and counters very efficiently. Trunks murmurs to himself about how maybe traveling through time changed more than he thought. Piccolo with his Namekian ears hears this and is left stunned, but before he could react, Goku suddenly appears in front of Piccolo. Since in canon, it's explained that Goku could have shown up at any time to fight Mecha Frieza, he just chose not to, in fact was planning on jumping in last minute. But here, he could feel Frieza's power disappear, and this other strong power suddenly attacking his friends. He didn't show up when he attacked Ada because Ada doesn't have the key signature being an android and all, so that's why he showed up after Piccolo got hurt. Anyway, moving on. Goku then turns into a Super Saiyan to match Trunks' strength, given he's still in Super Saiyan himself. The two then clash, and over the course of their fight, Goku is able to figure out why Trunks attacked Ada, though Goku is able to reassure Trunks that Ada is a good guy. So after a short while, their scuffle suddenly stops, and then the two drop out of their Super Saiyan forms, and then talk. Trunks here being able to give Goku the information he does in canon, however with one major difference. Alongside 17 and 18, Ada was also one of the androids that had killed the Z-Warriors in Trunks' timeline. This revelation is a shock to Goku and Piccolo, who again has Namekian ears and can hear everything they're talking about. Piccolo now fully understands the situation and kinda cautiously looks towards Ada, who is now back on his feet with the help of Gohan and Amon. Trunks kinda just thinks that him traveling through time is what caused Ada to be an ally here, so he gives the heroes his usual warning, lets Goku know that he's the son of Vegeta and Tides, and goes back to the future to prepare for the next time he returns, and then just goes on his way, leaving Goku and Piccolo scratching their brains about what to do about this next big threat. And with the help of Piccolo, Goku is able to relay the information to the rest of the Z-Warriors, making sure to go over the part about Ada apparently being a bad guy in the future, which has Ada very worried. Bulma is able to quickly deduce that it has to have something to do with the Red Ribbon Army and Dr. Gero, much like she does in canon. Though he starts trying to think of ways to stop Ada from getting taken control of. Basically, Ada's about to get a massive firewall update. But yeah, with that revelation, that's where I want to leave this off for now. Right before the 3-year age skip, so I can cover that in more depth in the next part. Sorry, talking's hard right now. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, please consider liking the video, subscribing. Also make sure to comment any suggestions for what ifs for me to do in the future. Not planning on making any new series yet. Just want to finish the ones I'm doing right now, but it never hurts to stockpile suggestions. So I have like a whole library of them when I want to see what next one I want to do. But that's all there is. I've been the Dragon Ball What If Bro, and I'll see you guys next time.